guys, so I'm going to talk to you about stupid people today. I work at a Which Wich, and it's kind of like a Subway, but instead of like going down the line and saying I want this and this and this on my sandwich, you come in and there's a table with a bunch of turnstiles, and they have like brown paper bags in each little slot. And you look up at the menu and it'll say like chicken sandwich, bag number 5. And if you turn around and look at the turnstile, they have a box and it'll say number 5 chicken. And you pull down the bag and it'll have a list of the sandwiches, and you mark off which one you want, and it has like cheese and vegetables and stuff, and you mark which ones you want, and then you take it to the register, and like we put it on a little zipline thingy and make the sandwich that way, and it's really cool. And so right there up on the menu, it has like a big old sign, and it says grab a bag, grab a Sharpie, customize your sandwich. And it's really simple. And we have people come in and they'll stand there and look at the menu for a good 10 minutes. And then they come up to the register and they'll be like, I don't know how to do this. Which is understandable. I mean, I guess if it's their first time and they don't like know what to do, then yeah, we can explain it. Other times we'll have people come up to the register and be like, hey, I'll have a da-da-da-da-da, and start like rattling off this sandwich with all this stuff on it. And I'm like, have you been in before? And obviously they haven't. And that's okay. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous because if you're looking at the menu, you're going to see the part that says grab a bag, unless there's like some sort of, I don't know, it's like they have a mental block or something that comes down over their eyes when they look at that part of the menu, because it's so big and it's so obvious, and it's like, really? My favorite story about stupid people, though, is about this woman who came in. And setting the scene, earlier that day we got in our delivery truck and they were supposed to bring us all of our food for the week, but they didn't bring us any ice cream. And of course that was the day when everyone and their mother wanted a milkshake. And so we ran out of ice cream. And so I'm there out in the lobby, stocking the chip rack, and this woman comes over to me and she's like, hey, I have a question. And I was like, okay, how can I help you? And she was like, my son just had his tooth pulled, and so I was wondering if you guys had anything soft, like noodles? Pause here. I look up at the kid, and he literally just had his tooth pulled. Like, there was still gauze in his mouth. Ew. And second of all, why would you bring your kid to a sandwich shop while he still has, like, bleeding in his mouth, and he still has No! No! Like, no. Okay? And so I was like, we don't have any noodles, but I can have them, like, put it on our sliced kids' bread instead of a roll, so there's, like, less bread, and we can also have them not toast it and everything. And she was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. And so I, like, gave her the spiel and told her how to fill out the bag and everything, and she, like, nodded and smiled and looked like she understood. And so she comes up to the register a few minutes later with a blank bag, and she says to me, I'm really confused. I don't know how to do this. Somebody wasn't listening. And so I take the bag from her, and I fill it out for her there at the register, while there's like people lining up behind her, because it was kind of like towards the end of our lunch rush, but there were still people. And so I'm there and I get it all filled out and I get it up on the line and put into the register, and the kid starts motioning at the shake sign because he can't talk, his mouth is so full of gauze. And she was like, can you make him a chocolate shake? And I'm like, oh goodness, here we go. And I was like, I'm really sorry, we ran out of ice cream and we can't make the shake. And she looks at me with this really confused look on her face, and she's like, what does that mean? And so I'm like, well, we don't have the ice cream to make the shakes because they're like ice cream milkshakes. and so we can't make a shake, and I'm really sorry. And I felt really bad, and like the kid looked like he was about to start crying, and I felt horrible, and he started like walking away, and the mom followed him, and she didn't pay for the sandwich that I rung up into the register. I thought they left, because they like went off into the mob of people that were like waiting for their sandwiches over at the end. And I was like, well, dang it. And I still felt really bad. But later they like called out the kid's sandwich, and I turn, and there's the woman. And she takes the kid's sandwich, and they leave. And what? Like, they didn't pay for the sandwich, and no ice cream. What does that mean? Am I overreacting? Because I really don't think I am. The real kicker is, though, that they like come in and look around the restaurant and see all these bags up on the zip line, and all these people like filling out the bags at the table and pulling sandwiches out of bags, and they still don't get that you're like supposed to grab a bag. So yeah, that's my stories about stupid people. If you have any stories about stupid people that you would like to share with me, put them in the comments, because I would love to hear about them. They're some of the weirdest and most hilarious stories I've come across so far. So yeah, I guess that's it, and I will see you guys sometime in the future.